know exactly where you're going, you know exactly how to get there, you know what's going to be between you and your goal, you can run full speed as fast as you can. But not knowing what's around the corner is like these folks. You're going to slow down. You're never going to achieve the velocity that you should because you are not clear on what your future looks like. That's why it just tells you you need to get very clear on what your future looks like. Right at the beginning, you need to start with the end in mind. You ever see wealthy people unfulfilled or athletes throwing their life away or their career or rock stars? Why do they do that? Because they get all the way to the top of their game or trade and they're still not happy and they can't figure it out. Don't you think when you see a movie star or a rock star or an athlete, you think, man, they got everything that everybody wants. And then they throw it away on drugs or ruin their relationships or their life just massively unfolds right beneath them. Why? Because they're still not happy. Even at the top of their game, they haven't figured out what makes them happy. That's why it's so important before you get started. You have to figure out why you're here. You got to figure it out. But don't listen to what your parents said. Don't listen to what someone... You figure it out for you. This is your only life here. You better figure this out for yourself. What's your purpose here? What do you want your life to be about? So what's the end for you? On earth here, it's when you die. When you die, that's it. And then usually there's a eulogy written about you and someone who survived. You read it. Do you know what a eulogy is? Someone stands up. He was a good man. She was a great mom. And they say about all the good they know about somebody, right? Isn't it kind of weird? It was your life to live, your whole life, yet someone else has to write it and put it all together. And you hope they say the right thing. Wouldn't it be a great task or exercise right now while you're alive? Decide what you want read about you when you're laying there in the coffin. Kind of scary, but it might be worth doing. What would you want said about you? There's some ways to help you with this, by the way. I don't want to go too deep, although it is EC Class 5. I figure I can give you everything, and it won't. You've been to so many seminars and speeches and conventions. I want to challenge you to do this. Life's almost, in my opinion, almost not worth living unless you know why you're living it. Otherwise, you're wasting it. You're either doing it, you're either heading to something, or you're wasting it. Most people are wasting it. Here's one way to help you write your eulogy. Ask yourself this. When you die, maybe the 5 most important people in your life, you decide who they are. Write them down right now, who the 5 most important people in your life are. And if one is your God, then put that down. It's your kids, your spouse. Put them down. Your parents. You die, what would you want them to say about you? In one sentence. And then from those 5 sentences, or 6, it doesn't have to be exactly 5. You know what you come up with? Your definition of success. Your personalized, very own definition of success comes out of those 5 or 6 sentences. And it is different for everybody, I promise you. So if you take a little, you need to get to a quiet spot where you are of keen mind and energy and figure this out. But this is, most people, you know how they do goal setting? From here out, not from all the way at the end and backwards. So you know what happens, as I mentioned earlier, you start heading down the path and find out if the ladder was leaning against the wrong wall. You climbed all the way up this ladder, it was leaning against something you didn't even want to climb. And that's why people restart. I think I'm having success because I keep building upon last year and the whole past of my life towards my ultimate goal. Be specific, comprehensive, and measurable. Take those 5 sentences, that's your definition of success, and then start to write your eulogy from there. It might be emotional. It could be scary for some of you, and it could be too daunting of a task, and you don't want to do it. Backwards engineer your life from there and stay on track. I have these. You know what? Do you have Elmo? We're going to flip-flop between Elmo and this presentation. Is that fine? Okay. I'm sharing this with you all because this is what I've done, and I've done it for years now.